Hello, I'm Janine Bryan. I wrote the words for this Aussie Kids book called Meet Mia by the Jetty.
And hi, I'm Danny Snell and I drew the pictures, and that makes me the illustrator.
So Penguin Random House asked me if I would like to write a book set in my own home state of South Australia. And they also asked 7 other authors if they would write a story set in their own home state. Now, I chose Victor Harbor, and not only is it a beautiful beach, but there are whales and penguins and a lovely little horse-drawn tram that takes passengers across the causeway or the jetty to a small island called Granite Island.
One of the first things that I had to illustrate was the cover for Meet Mia by the Jetty. Now, because this is part of a series of books, they wanted all the covers to look similar. So on all the books, the title and all that information is there on the right, and then the main character is always, as you see on the left, with some of the background down the bottom to suggest where the story is set. So I've drawn the main character of Mia here, standing in the shallows by the beach, and then in the background down the bottom we see the horse-drawn tram, famous in Victor Harbor, making its way across the causeway or the jetty to Granite Island, and that wraps all the way around the back of the cover as well. The next thing I had to do was draw the characters and work out what they looked like. Now, I've got 2 daughters and they both love the ocean and the beach, and so they were my inspiration for the characters of Mia and her older sister Alice, and particularly my younger daughter Daisy. She was the inspiration, as you can see, for the main character of Mia. There you go. And that's where Mia gets her hat from.
And that was the illustration that Danny did for that one, wasn't it?
That's right.
And this is showing the big sister and Danny and a boy called Jim. So that says, "I'm Mia," I said to him. "Alice doesn't know about my special plan yet, but it's good." Jim's eyes went big. He looked like a scared rabbit. "It's really good," I said, nodding. "You'll like it." The character of Mia was a bit of a problem to start with because Danny's drawn a great character illustration based on his daughter. But to get the character to start off with, I had an idea because I'd written a story called Party Time a few years ago. And in this book, there's a little girl called Mia, and she's very lively and very bright and very resilient, just like this Mia. So I decided I could take this Mia and put her into this book. And she's the same kind of Mia, so she's got a lot of bright ideas, even about becoming a tour guide leader. And that's what she wanted to do as well. So she was going to take this Jim all around the island and show him where she lives. And that's where Danny was going to do a sandcastle competition too, and she had some illustrations for that.
Yes. So 2 of the trickiest illustrations that I had to do in this book were these illustrations here that show Mia, Alice and Jim having a sandcastle competition at the beach. And they were tricky because I had to draw the same scene but from different angles. So here you see the view looking out to the sea with Mia saying, "Stop," making sandcastles, telling Alice and Jim both to stop what they were doing. And then the next scene showing from the sea looking up the beach with the tide starting to wash away Mia's mermaid's tail. So after lots of corrections and a few changes, I think I got it just about right.
And there's a lovely story too about this mermaid because as Danny was just talking about how it was being washed away, that actually happened to me when I was a little girl. I'd actually entered a sandcastle competition at Port Victoria in York Peninsula, and there were lots of children involved in the sandcastle competition, and the judges walked so slowly that unfortunately I had built my mermaid close to the shore. And as the judges walked slower and slower, so the tide came in little bit by little bit and started nibbling away at my mermaid. So by the time they got to my mermaid, there was very little of it left. So it's interesting, isn't it, to see how sometimes something that's happened to you in real life can make it into a story. So here we are. Alice is the big bossy sister. Alice rolled her eyes again, but when Jim began scooping sand, she did too. I made a beautiful mermaid. Stop now! I held up my hand like we have to at school. Alice was making a giant octopus. I'm not finished, she said. I'm not either. Jim's castle had a moat. The tide was drifting in. It was washing my mermaid's tail away. We have to finish, I said. I think my mermaid is very, very good. Alice and Jim didn't look. So I say the mermaid's the winner. It's not, said Alice, turning her head. It's only half a mermaid now anyway. Alice said Jim was the winner.
And don't forget to check out the fun facts in the back, all about fairy penguins.
Here we have fun facts, and we hope you enjoy reading a little bit more of Meet Mia by the Jetties. So it's bye from me.
And bye from me.
And bye from him.